I'm a good person. I know I am. Well, I saved my cousin Billy that one time from blowing off his fingers. All the other kids dared him to hold that M80 and light it, and I said no, Billy, even though I really wanted to see what would happen. What happened at the bunker, Jess says we did the right thing. Foster says it too, so that means we did the right thing. I didn't do anything wrong. Us or them, and we chose us. I'd do it again, probably. So that means it was right, right? When you can look back on something and know that you would do it the same way all over again, that's deja vu. Thanks. Something happens and you know, that's the way I do it a second time. Deja vu. That's how I know I did the right thing.
didn't think I'd ever see another human being again. Oh, didn't think I'd ever see another human being again.
Is your name Kenneth?
Yeah. How do you know my name?
Casey asked me to look for you. He's alive. In the bunker. He wanted to know what happened to you and the rest of the squad.
Casey's alive, huh? That's good to hear. I didn't give him much chance, honestly. Thought he'd have blown his brains out by now, or shriveled away to nothing. Casey's alive, huh? Tell him he's a good guy. The guilt, it's not his. Tell him to let it all go. What happened at the bunker? He needs to wipe his brain clean. Tell him Kenneth said things right. Killed Trent, Jess, and Foster. Okay? You need to write it down or something?
I'll remember everything. Don't worry. But I am curious. What happened at the bunker?
Fuck it. I've got nothing to hide. We killed dozens of innocent people. Civilians trying to get into the bunker. When all the shit with the dead walking started to go down, we had orders to keep everyone out of the bunker. I don't know why. It didn't make any sense. But when it got too tense, we freaked. We mowed them down. Vietnam-style shit. Casey just stood there. Like a ghost. That fuck Foster started screaming at him to open fire with the rest of us. Later I asked Casey if he fired. He said that he pulled the trigger because he was scared that if he didn't, we'd all turn on him, add his body to the pile. He said he aimed his gun up in the rafters of the church. I believed him. He begged me not to tell the others. He didn't trust them. But he trusted me. We were friends. Listen, my brain is it's getting foggy. I'm seeing shit. I don't know how many words I got left. End me. Please.
I've heard enough, Kenneth. I'll tell Casey we spoke. Tell him everything you wanted him to know.
That's mighty nice of you, Uncle Tommy. Before you go to the bowling alley, blow my fucking brains out, yeah? That's the only way to remain.
there, Casey? I'm back.
Hey, tourist. Did you discover anything?
I found Kenneth.
You did? Is he still alive?
He wasn't gonna make it. He begged me to put him out of his misery. So I did.
Oh. Well, I'm sure you did what was right. Tourist. Shit. Rest in peace, Kenny. My friend. What did he tell you?
He wanted me to tell you something. You want to know what he said?
Yes, of course. What did he say?
He said you're a good guy. Not to feel guilt about what happened outside the bunker. To let the massacre go. He told me all about it. From his perspective. But I am curious about yours.
Well, if he told you what happened, why do you need to hear it from me? You know what you need to know, right? And you've told me my friend is dead, so we can move on, yeah?
I know it must be hard, Casey, to talk about it. But it's okay. Tell me what happened.
Yeah, you're right, tourist. It's not easy for me. There was a massacre. 3 dozen people at least. Civilians. Right at the reserve entrance. Innocent people that we should have been protecting. I should have done something to stop it, but I didn't. I stood there, a coward. And now I don't sleep. I have a nervous twitch in my right hand that gets more pronounced every day, and the guilt is like a 10-ton weight crushing my chest. Are you satisfied now?
Those are just facts, Casey. I already know the...
Okay, quit badgering me, please. I'll talk. Just give me a second to gather my thoughts. It's all fucking foggy. The whole thing escalated really fast. The first bullet was Foster. I wanted to scream no, but it's like I just left my body. Everything after that moment, it's like a nightmare. Jess and Trent started firing. Jess, she was smiling. Kenneth hesitated. He looked right through me like he expected me to have his back. But I did nothing. So he started firing. After that, all I've been able to retain are weird details. Oh, the sounds. A hat. A cross. Man, sometimes when I'm here lying, trying to sleep, I can actually feel my fingers shaking on the trigger of my rifle, even though I haven't touched the thing since the day it happened.
The feel of the trigger. Did you pull it?
Yeah. I didn't want to, but I did. Basic training kicked in. Follow orders, no matter what. But I don't know if I killed anyone. I may have. Thing is, I'll never know. Maybe that's worse than actually knowing for certain that I did.
A cross? Like in a church? What's that all about?
Yeah. It's fucking strange, tourist. I see it. Real close up. Everything around it is hazy. Bullets chewing it up. Splintering the wood. It's from my church back home. The one my mom used to drag me to. You know, but that makes no sense. Well, it's just my mind fucking with me. Guilt digging in deep, I guess. Fearing judgment.
What do you hear when the sounds come?
The sound of terror. Please. The gunfire. My own shouts. The thump of bodies hitting the floor. This cacophony will just swell up inside my head when I least expect it. This chaos. But I can still pick out every single fucking sound. I just can't shake it.
You mentioned a hat. What hat?
There was this old man, shielding his wife. He had on this bright blue fishing hat, and I watched A flurry of bullets rip it right off in this spray of blood and skull. And this fucking hat, I swear to God, it's the exact same hat my uncle used to wear. And the bullets drove it into the wall, and it hung there for a second, dripping. And then it flopped onto the floor. The image, I can't get it out of my head. I'm worried it'll be there forever. And I keep thinking, was it me? Did I shoot those bullets?
You'll never know for sure, Casey.
That's exactly right, tourist. And I can't fucking deal with that.
We've all piled up regrets. Impossible not to when the world is this fucked up. What sets the good man apart from the evil one is how you live beyond the regret. Do you make better decisions moving forward?
I have to. I can't live with myself otherwise. I have to be better.
Then you will be. Simple as that.
If you say so. Look, tourist, this little chat, it's worn me the fuck out. And I've got rewiring to do to keep from getting electrocuted next time I use this radio. Not that it really fucking matters. Doubtful I'm getting out of here alive. Without that key that has everyone riled up, this is all a waste of time. I'm gonna go. I'll talk to you later, I guess.
Casey, good news.
Good news? Hell, tourist. I would classify that as fucking outstanding news. No, look, I don't want to jinx it, but... No, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. Best not to risk the jinx. Let's just forge ahead. One step at a time. Okay, so, the part to repair the final pump. Gosh, I don't have much to go on. It's weird. There's been really faint chatter about it on a few channels. It's been nothing but static for months. There's an outpost called Bastion, set up in a heavily defended duplex home. Barricades and optimal sightlines. The Reclaimed currently control it. Now, the place has been a hotbed of conflict between Tower and Reclaimed for a while. From what I'm hearing, that's where it is, so be ready for a shitstorm. Good luck, and hey, keep your head on a swivel.
You can read? I'm shocked.
Hardy fucking har, tourist. Yes, I can read.
What book is it?
The only book down here besides instruction manuals is this hardcore physics book called Hollow Reel. No clue who left it. I must have read it cover to cover a dozen times already, and it still blows my mind. I mean, the whole book is about this theory that the entire universe, like reality itself, is nothing more than a hologram being projected on the surface of a black hole. It sounds fucking nuts, but the math supports it, I guess. I'm trying to wrap my head around it all, but science is not really my strong suit. What about you? You a reader?
I prefer movies. Not much of a reader.
Oh, shit. I haven't seen a movie in ages. What kind of flicks do you like?
I need helicopter speedboat chases and buildings exploding every 5 minutes to be entertained.
Yeah, I'm with you. Movies are an escape, you know? Weird thought. You think there'll ever be another Hollywood movie made?
Maybe not in our lifetime, and maybe not in Hollywood. But humans are resilient, and we like our entertainment. I think we'll find a way.
I'd like to think so. Well, on that note, I'm gonna go do some exercises. I gotta keep limber. I mean, it's so damp and cramped down here, my body's getting real stiff. It feels like I'm fucking 80 years old. Hey, thanks for the diversion, tourist. It's nice to be reminded sometimes that we're still human beings in the middle of all this shit. Talk to you soon.
You made it. I didn't doubt that you would, of course, but my patience was beginning to be tested. Let's start with a formal introduction. You are the tourist, and I am Jean-Baptiste. JB for short. There now, we can proceed to matters of more profound consequence. It is my understanding that this gizmo here would be of use to you. It's all yours. Consider it a gift. And when we are finished with our conversation, I will provide you with the missing dial that you'll need to operate it. Sound fair?
Sounds fair.
Terrific. Now, I prefer to play it straight. Once I received word that you were collecting these devices, and to what purpose, I saw an opportunity to connect with the city's most illustrious survivor and have a chat about the reserve. So I made it a priority to acquire one, through various means I will not divulge. And now here you are. It is my hope when I'm through, you will see the reserve for what it is. Nothing more than a crutch, holding back the people of this fine city from regaining themselves.
You've piqued my interest. Go on.
I am a firm believer in the greatness of humankind, our ingenuity, our art, our towering scientific achievements. This reserve nonsense, even if the rumors about what may be inside it exceed our wildest dreams, the bounty will only prolong our addiction to survivalism as the only path in life. It will stifle our creativity. It will eventually lead to our withering doom. Now, this is the proposal that I have for you. Continue your search for the reserve, and when you unearth it, which I have the utmost confidence you will, destroy it. These 4 numbers will disable the entire flood contingency system. Mother Nature will rage through the reserve and take care of the rest. 1006. Flood the reserve and set us all free. Give this still glorious city the jump start it needs to refocus on something much grander than mere survival. Grant us hope, tourist, and thank you most sincerely for hearing me out. And let's keep this chat between us, if that's all right. I'm not sure my comrades would see the big picture benefits of removing the reserve from the equation. The floor's now yours, my friend. Anything on your mind that requires clarity?
I'm curious about the reclaimed.
Yes?
The reclaimed have made quite a mark on the city. How did the movement get started?
After my exile from the tower for insubordination, I took to raiding their supply lines. Rather efficiently, I might add. No one ever got hurt, and other exiles clamored to join my operations. Needless to say, Mama and her cohorts were not pleased with my exploits, and they sent several communications asking me to cease my pillaging or there'd be consequences. Of course, I refused, politely. No one was going to dictate the terms of my existence anymore. But it wasn't until the tower started sending thugs out to track me down and end me that I decided it was time to send a message of my own.
The reclaimed have made quite a mark on the city. How did the movement get started?
After my exile from the tower for insubordination, I took to raiding their supply lines. Needless to say, but it wasn't until...
I've heard snippets about the reclaimed philosophy, but it would be enlightening to hear it from you.
It's simple, really. We want to live purposeful lives, reclaim the world and our humanity along with it. Mere survival is so petty. It's beneath us, forcing people to focus solely on survival. It's cruel, really. I believe we must invest in a future of our own design. Life is not worth living otherwise.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I want your perspective on the reserve.
Uh-huh.
Why choose me to destroy the reserve?
Because you're the one best equipped to find the accursed place, and I trust you will do the right thing when you do. Call it a hunch.
If the rumors about what's inside the reserve are true, wouldn't it benefit the reclaimed to get your hands on it?
You are absolutely correct. But once those supplies are gone, then what? The same old fruitless pursuits. And there is the very distinct possibility that the tower gets to it before we do. The only way to guarantee this city will move forward in the proper direction is to remove the reserve from the equation entirely.
How did you find this code to flood the reserve?
One of my scouts came across the corpse of a National Guardsman in Rampart High School. The body had a manual for a bunker's flood defense system. I put 2 and 2 together.
If the rumors about what's inside the reserve are true, wouldn't it benefit the reclaimed to get your hands on it?
You are absolute.
I have some other questions for you, JB. I've heard enough.
Fair enough. Then we are finished here. The dial, as promised. Godspeed, tourist.
We finally meet, tourist. After all the hype, you're not exactly what I expected. I'm Georgia. Maybe you've heard of me, maybe not. I could give two shits. What does concern me is the man inside the building you just stepped out of. We tracked him here. Heard the commotion upstairs. Did you kill that fool?
JB is dead.
The tide has fucking turned. Thanks for doing what needed to be done. From this point on, just keep steering clear of the tower, and there won't be any issues between you and me. I'm not a fan of issues, in case you couldn't tell. And when this shit with the reserve pops, I'll make sure tower troops have orders to steer clear of you. Out for a stroll?
The world is a much better place without that loudmouth JB blathering over there.
Hey, ass!
You've proven one thing, shit you are.
My dear Georgia, we have gone too far. This has to stop. We are not cruel. No matter what our community is facing right now, we have to remember our promise to the people. I understand the need to pivot when faced with a crisis, Georgia. Those responsible for the atrocities that led to disease were brought to justice. We have to put the lessons we learned from all that dick business behind us. When I first learned that those animals were serving human flesh to our most desperate, simply to meet hunting quotas, I was enraged. But as difficult as it may be, I had to pivot. I had to try and understand the desperation that drove them to hunt human beings. Maybe our scavenging quarters were a mistake. Yes, punishment was warranted, but we cannot allow those horrors to color all the choices we make moving forward. We must help people, not abandon them. I have been changing course and making difficult decisions a majority of my life. We can figure this out. We can get this community back on the right track. I may be a bit compromised these days, but my mind is as sharp as ever. You need...
I'm back, Casey. Ready to rip...